We've got one more call to take today. It looks like we're going to head over to Oregon. We got Christopher, he, him. You were chatting up with Secular Rarity and Adam Elmasri. What's going on, Christopher?
Hi, Adam. Hi, Secular Rarity. Nice to talk to y'all. Well, I guess this is, to me, a question that's never been really asked before, and I could give an analogy first or make the position or question, but basically I think word integrity is really important. I think it's incredibly important that the words we use are honest. And what I've found is that if you say you love Jesus and you say you love God and you say you love the Bible, I think it'd be really important that you'd read the entire book, every word on every page, before you died. I mean, I don't understand the integrity of your word choice, the integrity of your beliefs. If you truly believe this is the Word of God, wouldn't you take the time within your lifetime to read every word on every page? But yet, as we all know, the vast majority of folks, they're going to go to their graves never having read the Bible. And to me, it's alarming.
I can tell you, Christopher, when I was a believer, I was very devout in my belief in a little bit of a different sense than I think the majority of people on this show or other shows talk about when they say they were devout. What I meant when I said that was that every fiber of my being felt this intense emotional connection to this being, right? I didn't feel like I needed to read through the scriptures and make sure that I was being consistent with how God was portrayed, because I could feel God. I didn't need to go ask a priest what their thought was, because I had thoughts. I had God inside me. And for me,
To me, that
the
sounds.
thing.
Go ahead. Sorry.
No, please.
To me, with all due respect to you, I don't think that sounds empty to me.
Yeah.
Here's the thing: is
well, hang on just a second, Christopher, because I think you're right there, which is, yeah, it is kind of empty in the sense that I really didn't have any reason to justify that belief that I had. But that is how a lot of us have beliefs, right? And so at the end of the day, it even on things that I may agree with people, right? Like somebody comes up to me and they say, hey, I really believe that medical decisions should be left between a doctor and their patient, specifically like abortion. I just think that should be something that we can access. And I go, yeah, I totally agree with that. And they go, yeah. And the reason that I believe that is because I threw a bunch of forks in the air one day, and when they fell on the ground, they said legalize abortion. And now that's a bad freaking reason. I mean, I'm glad you're on to the same conclusion that I am. But I think honestly that it's just that at the end of the day, we all have some bad reasons. We have that bad critical thinking and bad epistemology a lot of times. And even those of us that have stepped away from religion, right? And so while I may agree that, yes, it's a more robust faith, the way that you're portraying it, I don't think it's something that's like prescribed, so to speak, right? Like you can be an atheist.
Yeah, I wish it was.
Well, yeah, no, I mean, I'm with you. I wish more religious people would read their books. They'd see all the terrible things in them. Well, I'm right there with you.
Here's I'll give you two short analogies on why I'm still not buying it. And one of them's a quick one. Or both of them are. Let's say I say I'm a huge Beatles fan, and then you Adam or Secularity, you say, oh, well, what's your favorite album? And I say to you, well, I have never listened to anything but the greatest hits. Immediately, you would think to yourself, well, you don't really love the Beatles that much. I mean, you're going to go to your grave not actually listen to a single Beatles album. And on the same, that's one analogy, essentially. Another one is if someone were to ask me or you, hey, have you read, I don't know, Dandelion Wine by Ray Bradbury? The answer to that question is going to be either yes or no.
True.
But yet, so often when people are asked if they've read the Bible, they say yes, but we all know they haven't. They haven't.
Yeah. They've read bits and pieces.
So what they have is a Cliff Notes. Yeah.
Yeah. Real quick though, and then I want to get Adam's thoughts, Christopher. But
sure, yes, me
are
too.
you familiar with? Are you familiar with the no true Scotsman fallacy? Right, just that. Hey, no.
Of
Right,
course.
right, right. Regular around these parts. If somebody tells you that they are a Christian and you
Hmm.
say, "Oh, well, have you read the whole Bible or do you do this particular thing?" Right? And they go, "Well, no, but I'm a Christian." And then somebody says to them, "Oh, well, you're not a real Christian, right? Because you don't, you haven't actually read the whole Bible and stuff." That puts us in that boat of doing that particular fallacy. And while
Yeah,
again, I agree that in
yeah,
the most beautifulest of possible worlds that exists out there, every single belief that everyone holds in the entirety of existence, all of us would be investigating that and having good reason. And before we say that we're fans of this show, we actually watch it, or before we say that we believe in this thing, we actually read the damn book or whatever. I would agree that is probably the loftiest of best worlds we could have. Unfortunately, the world that we live in is one where the vast majority of us accept things without super great reason. And
well,
I
I think we
think,
should call each other out on it.
well, and that's exactly where I was going to go,
Totally.
Christopher. Is I think what you're saying is we need to make sure that those of us that have the ability to, we stand up and voice the value of critical thinking. That we voice the
Yeah,
value of skepticism and saying, "Hey, man, is it really fair for you to say that you believe this when you haven't even read it? Like, come on, let's read it
yeah.
together. Let's look at it."
Well,
But yeah, but before I
I
just
think,
continue rambling for another 30 minutes. Adam, give us some thoughts here.
Um,
yeah, yeah,
it's not only believe, like when they say I love Jesus or I
Mm,
I love the Bible. Um, what comes to my mind is a philosophical or a poetic take on love that I listened once.
yeah,
Interestingly, it was by a Jewish rabbi. He was saying, when you say I love fish, and then you go and fi- do fishing and you get the fish and then you cook it, you basically you kill it and you burn it and then
mhm,
you eat it. That doesn't mean I love fish. You love the taste of fish.
mm,
And
correct.
same thing,
Yeah,
well, he goes, when you love flowers and then you pick them and do a bunch, that's not loving flower. You want to, that's a selfish way of loving the thing. But
mm,
if you love
yes,
something, that you gotta nourish it. And so it was very interesting. And so I agree with you basically, because when you say I love something, if you never experienced every part of it um e- extensively, then you cannot say I love it. You can say I love the bits, the I love the pieces of wisdom that I read or cherry pick every day,
yeah,
but you cannot say I love the Bible in its totality because you never experienced its totality. So
yeah.
yeah, I'm with you guys.
That should
yeah,
be humiliating, I think.
yeah. I
I
think
think
I think
so.
I think we should all want to have good justification for the things that we believe, especially if we're going to go around
Yeah.
talking about them. But again, I
Yeah,
think,
and I kind of have a question for Adam,
yeah,
because the reason this
Sure.
question's come up to me, and it started about 5 years ago, is because what I've noticed when I'm debating religious folks, I find that more Muslims have actually read the Quran than
mm,
Christians, and I think the disparity is massive. And so I find that when I'm debating Muslims, I'm at least debating somebody who I feel like on a intellectual basis, we're being honest. They know the material. They can discuss the material. But when I'm debating Christians, they deflect all over themselves. I mean,
mm,
it's just an abomination on communicating with them, and that's why I feel it's important. Hey, if you really believe, and I'm not questioning their Christianity, I'm questioning that they truly believe it. That's the word I'm hung up on. I feel like if you have that much love, the least you could do is read that only book where these characters occur in. I mean, within your lifetime, not today, tomorrow, but like before you die. So
I
is it
yeah.
agree
true
with
to
you.
you, Adam, that yeah? Do you agree that Muslims seem to know the Quran better than Christians tend to know the Bible,
Oh,
or is that just my own personal observation?
oh, no, you're absolutely right. Muslims, the majority of them, they read the entire Quran more than once,
Mm,
and um, a lot of them memorize chunks of it.
Yes,
Um, a-
yes,
so yes, you're absolutely right. And even even Muslims who are not native Arabic speakers, they still they have to read the Quran in Arabic together with an English translation. You cannot just go and read the English translation.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they take it to a completely different level. There is no comparison.
Mm.
Yeah, I find that to be more sincere to me, a sincere use of the word belief when I'm talking to people that have actually digested the text, the holy text they claim to be holy. I mean, I don't know, it's mind-boggling to me. It's so frustrating to me when people approach me, call me on the phone, or come to my door claiming they have these beliefs, and when I ask them if they've read their own Jehovah's Witness, their Bibles, the Mormon, all of it, it's like, no, they haven't. I'm like, oh my gosh, why are you here? Go home and read it. Leave me alone until you've finished.
Well, Christopher, I think Adam and I are pretty much, right on side with you when it comes to, especially those that are in religious belief systems. We want them to be familiar with what they believe and what they profess to believe. So I mean, you hang out here at least for this episode, Christopher. So hopefully, you are joining us and promoting critical thinking and skepticism wherever you can. So.
I do, and I've been listening for 12 years, and this is my first time calling. It's just been boiling up inside me for so long, and I love y'all. I was an atheist when I first started listening, but y'all have turned me into skeptics and reasonable person, and so I try really hard to use my words correctly, and I have y'all to thank for it, everybody who's involved with the ACA, and so y'all really mean a lot to me, and I know a lot of other people, and I appreciate every moment y'all volunteer of this. It's just amazing.
Well, thank you so much. Man. Yeah, we really appreciate that, Christopher. I know it's that type of stuff that keeps us all, doing this. It's very, very valuable that we all evaluate our beliefs on a regular basis.